Yeah. Episode 176. You're now tuned to the freshest 30 minutes in podcast land, the GodChaserz Podcast, talking all things Christian, hip-hop, playing the hottest music, and encouraging those who have a heart for ministry, in ministry, entrepreneurs, and kingdompreneurs. This podcast is for you. Go to ironbrinson.com, sign up for the email list, and stay up to date with all things GodChaserz Entertainment. And you can get a copy of the new book, The Art of God Chasing, and 10 Things Every Christian Hip-Hop Artist Should Know. Follow me on social media, GodChaserz on Instagram, and I am Brinson on Twitter. And if this episode bless you, make sure you go to iTunes and leave a comment and a 5-star rating. And I want to give a shout out to all my people in Los Angeles, Wichita, Austin, San Antonio, Denver, Houston, Raleigh, Lexington, Jacksonville, Tampa, OKC, and all my friends abroad in Australia, Pakistan, Nigeria, Russia, Mexico, Jordan, the Netherlands, New Zealand, the UK, Spain, Canada, Thailand, Japan, China. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got a great show for you this week. This is the 6th anniversary show of the GodChaserz Podcast and the best of 2020 podcast, and we're gonna go for a minute. And I got 2 special guests with me this week. One is the greatest underground golden era lyricist, period, change my mind and you can't. ReadyWriter is in the house, my label mate from day one, my brother from another mother, and
Amen.
Sketch, the J, the journalist, the writer, the penman, the historian, the recently married man.
Yes.
The house.
Praise God. Yes.
We gonna have a awesome show. What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling?
Doing good.
Doing great.
Okay. So the only thing that happened today, because everybody's probably gonna see this in 2 days, but today MF Doom, we just found out about MF Doom. And if you don't know who that is, he is a secular artist, had a moniker about being a villain, very respected lyricist. The world just found out he passed away from a social media post from his wife, but he passed away in October. And it's just like, this has been such a wild year, and thank God for it. Thank God that we still here, but that was just some crazy news. What y'all think about it?
It's pretty shocking. And like you said, you added to all of the losses of some major guys that we've done. I had written down to even talk about that. We lost Chadwick Boseman, Kobe Bryant, even in Christian hip hop, Mr. Solo from Gospel Gangsters. So it's been a lot of loss this year, man.
Yeah. I was just talking to somebody about Mr. Solo, because I think we do such a horrible job at giving people their flowers and appreciations. And everybody was like, oh, he the GOAT. He been the GOAT for a minute, you know what I'm saying? But you don't hear him on a ton of people albums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like what I think one of my missions for the podcast going into 2021 is just give people their flowers anytime I interview them. Like I started with my last podcast with Mouthpiece, and I'm gonna just keep going because these brothers have been doing ministry. And speaking of giving flowers, Sketch, the world need that Christian hip hop book, brother. They need to see this greatness, because you back in the saddle, you got the newly married glow happening on you.
Yeah.
So we need to get that pen so everybody can witness this greatness. So y'all ready to dive into this stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So I'm just so you know, my movie list is probably garbage, because I couldn't even get 10. So
I couldn't either.
Where you at, Ready? You got 10?
No. See, You got to grade
COVID,
everything on a COVID curve.
Yeah.
So should we do a top 5 for movies?
Yeah, I got top 5, and also for music, I got 10, but I think 5 were the special ones.
Okay. So let's just cut movies down to 5, and we'll start with movies with our top 5. So drum roll, bootleg drum roll. Top 5. Number 5. Let's start with Sketch. What you got?
The Social Dilemma, the Netflix documentary that kind of dove into how social media has really warped our mind and made us addicts. I don't know if it was the best thing that I saw this year, and it's a lot of things that everybody would talk about. They were like, we already know this kind of about it, but just to see it illustrated, I thought they did a good job of doing that with a couple character actors acting out some scenes, and then one that he was like kind of the mindset of social media and how they build this profile on you and make you an addict and start sending you notifications and that sort of thing. So it was a thought-provoking reminder of kind of the way that we've allowed social media to be involved in our lives and whether that's a good thing or not. So,
ready? What's your 5?
Number 5. So let me talk about the ones I excluded first. I've watched Mulan, and it didn't make the list.
No.
So my wife loved it. I love the woman power in it, right? But I think it was choppy, and it just didn't compare with the cartoon. Also had Power on my list if we went 10 because I really like the Jamie Foxx movie, superhero movie. That was pretty good. For my number 5, I have Tenet. Yes, Tenet is 5 on my list. It's something that I need to rewatch. It was a good movie, but it wasn't great.
And did you see that in the theater, or is that the only way to do that?
At home.
You saw that? Okay, yeah. But I think that's an important point for us even maybe to discuss is how you viewed it, because I think that might change your opinion of a big tentpole movie like Tenet or something, you know, if you're watching it at home or whatnot. So
yeah, that's true. I wanted to see it at the movie theater, but COVID was popping at that point really, really badly. So we waited for it to come out on DVD, picked it up, checked it out. Like I said, it's a solid movie. If you like Matrix and different movies like that, Matrix is one of my favorite movies. So I naturally was drawn to the topic. There's stuff in the movie that you have to watch more than one time to get. Some of the characters, if you see the end of the movie, then you got to watch the movie over again to understand what he's talking about at the end.
Right.
So
the ones that I left off, I didn't mind Mulan, but it didn't make. It's not top 5. If we had to go, if we had to force 10, Mulan would be in 10, right?
Yeah.
The other one that didn't make it that I thought was really good, Sonic the Hedgehog was surprisingly good, and
I didn't see it.
It was surprisingly good because I like Jim Carrey, and he killed it. But that would, if we would have had to be forced for 10, then that would have been in. So 5, we got the same one. Tenet. I think the best thing I saw on the internet was somebody said watch it with the captions on, because I don't know if they rushed mixing the movie. The audio mix was horrible. Like,
it was high and low.
It was high and low, and then some parts you're like, what did he say? So somebody was like, look, here's a hack. Watch it with the captions on. So if you're listening to this podcast or watching us, captions on. So number 4, ready? We're gonna start with you.
All right, number 4. This was something we're dead in the middle of COVID. I just get Disney Plus, and it's Artemis Fowl. I watched it with the family, a good little family movie, kind of beginning of a superhero story. So I liked it, and you're gonna see that theme throughout my list when we get to the shows, because there's another show that people didn't watch that was dope. That's the same kind of setup as Artemis Fowl. So Artemis Fowl was good.
Sketch. Number 4.
I went with Palm Springs. It's a romantic comedy time loop show on Hulu. Andy Samberg, the dude from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, is in it. Some adult themes, but it took an interesting twist to that concept. We've seen it in several movies, admittedly, of where you kind of repeat the same day and try to get out of the time loop. But it was entertaining to me, and it was a good COVID flick.
What was it called again?
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs. Okay, I'm gonna have.
It's on Hulu.
I like time loops. Like
yeah.
What is it? The day the Tom Cruise movie. What was it?
Yes.
Live, Die, Repeat.
Live, Die, Repeat. Groundhog Day. I like that. My number 4 was Old Guard.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I watched the first 30 minutes.
Charlize Theron, is that the one?
Yep. And just like you said, COVID movie. So it's like the movies this year suffered because of the pandemic, right? So now you have to really like filter through movies, and stuff that would usually be like a C. They're like, oh, these are top movies because we couldn't get like big blockbusters. And I'm pretty sure that Tenet would have been way better if they had more time and stuff like that. I think sidebar, here's my prediction. Sidebar, prediction. Justice League Snyder Cut will be trash.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
I don't know.
Number 3, I'm gonna start 3. My third, Jumanji. Anybody seen it?
Yeah, okay.
Jumanji, it was funny.
I missed that one.
Jumanji 2. I think it was 2. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was good. It came out the beginning of the year, so I believe I went to see it in the movie. So that was like one of the last movies that I went to go see. So I was like, okay, it was good enough. So, ready? What you think? Number 3.
So number 3, I watch anime. That's what me and my son do: comic books and anime. So for me, one of the movies that we watched that I thought was deserving to be on this list was My Hero Academia. It's called Two Heroes Rising. It's a good entry point for anybody who used to watch Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or anything like that. It's like for a teenager. So I would say if you want to see a good anime, it's probably the best anime movie that came out this year. There's some other ones that I wouldn't recommend, but this one right here is more family friendly. So yeah, I would say My Hero Academia, Two Heroes Rising.
Okay. Sketch.
Yeah, I went with a Christmas film, The Jingle Jangle, on Netflix.
That was good, actually.
That was good.
That Jingle Jangle
We watched it last week,
Yeah.
and it's kind of a mix of Hamilton. It's what I liked about it is it wasn't a Santa Claus story. It wasn't a busy girl from the city moves to the country and finds out the meaning of Christmas kind of thing. Had an all-black cast primarily. Did a phenomenal job, and it wasn't about them being black. It was just like, hey, this is the people that run the story. Had a really cool like cyberpunk Dickinson kind of aesthetic. So that's one I would be happy to watch again, and Christmases in the future. So
word.
So did that movie remind you of Mr. Megorium's Emporium? Kind of like chocolate, kind of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory mixed with Mr. Megorium's Emporium or something like that. The guy made toys. It's I can't think of the main character, but it's just like that to me. When I first saw it, I was like, this reminds me of something that I've seen a long time ago. But it was good though. Very good acting.
So what we on number 2?
We are.
Number 2, I'm gonna start. Extraction.
I didn't say Extraction.
It was on Netflix, right?
Phenomenal.
Really?
What was it about?
I don't want to say because somebody might not see it, but this is what I will say. The Russo brothers made it, right? The film.
This one with Thor in it?
Yes.
Okay, I know.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. The action, because I think they were like experimenting with like camera angles and stuff like that. Phenomenal. Like, it was surprisingly good. They had a few twists in it. I thought it was a really dope movie that was surprising, that I didn't think. I thought it was gonna be straight, because Russo brothers, they come with the action, they know what they're doing. It surprised me. So, Extraction. Sketch.
Yeah. I believe this was actually a late 2019, but it won an award in 2020, and that's when I saw it. But so Parasite, the Korean film that won Best Picture this year.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's a really interesting story and take on kind of class warfare and that sort of thing. So definitely check that out. Even if you're not into foreign films, it really draws you in, and you'll start reading the captions and be drawn in immediately. So,
ready?
All right, so this movie came right on time. Is my video on?
I don't see you.
No.
I don't know what happened with that. So this movie came right on time for me. And it's called Love and Monsters.
Okay.
Can you see me now?
Nope.
I don't know what's going on with that. So Love and Monsters was about, it's from the same guy who played in Maze Runner, I believe. And basically, the movie's about a guy. It's about I don't want to tell the whole story. Basically, they have this tremendous event where they shoot an asteroid out the sky, mutates all the animals and all the bugs, and this guy's in love with this girl, and he has to travel miles to find his girlfriend. And that's what it's about. I would implore everybody to watch this film, because it also has an undercurrent of it's dangerous outside, but go outside and live life. Because all the people were bunkered in, stuck in shelters, scared of the outside world. So it kind of has a parallel with what we're going through, what's happening with COVID right now.
Okay.
So I would say take a chance with that movie. It was really good. I was surprised.
Okay. So where are we at? Number one?
Yep.
All right. Ready, go. Keep going. What's your number one? You on the road.
All right. Number one. Soul.
Soul?
Easy.
Easy?
Soul.
Easy.
Yes. Soul on Disney Plus.
Soul is the best
Jamie
movie
Foxx.
of 2020.
Yes.
Okay.
I have not seen it
just
yet, but it's on the
watched it.
list. Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's about destiny. It's about destiny and about what you were chosen to do. I mean, you find it out when you watch it.
Don't
But
tell
there's
me.
more there.
Oh,
It's
man.
good.
Soul is the
You
best
didn't see it
movie.
yet?
No, Soul is the best
Yes.
movie of 2020.
Oh,
All right.
go watch it. Go watch it.
Soul.
Go watch it.
All right.
Throw your list in the trash if it ain't on your list.
Okay. Man.
Then
Sketch.
go watch Jimmy Johns talk about it too.
Who? Jimmy Johns.
Jimmy Johns, the dude, the guy who do all the reviews.
Oh, I
So,
thought you were
movies.
talking about the sandwich place that I think is trash. I like, well, if they say,
I think his name was Jimmy Johns. I might be saying the wrong name.
I'm like, if Jimmy John's saying anything, I ain't listening to nothing. 'Cause their sandwiches taste like brown paper. Sketch, it's on you.
I'll go with another Disney Plus, but Hamilton. I had heard obviously the hype through the years of what that was about, and was honestly a little skeptical because I had heard like the initial song and thought this is rap for people who don't like rap. And, there was especially white people who were like, "Oh,
There he
Broadway,
is.
this is what hip hop's about. But I really enjoyed it. So it came out on July 4th, I guess, and took it in. It's 3 hours, so it's long, but it's an inventive way to tell the story of America. And some of the rapping later on actually gets much better than that initial like song that you hear. So props to that, and that's one I appreciate a lot.
All right, Hamilton. I didn't even think about Hamilton as being okay.
Yeah, it's kind of iffy if it's a movie or not, but it premiered as a film on Disney Plus this year. So
I think ReadyWriter gonna look at me sideways when I give him my number one. My number one for 2020, Project Power.
It was good. It was good. It wasn't number one, but it was good.
I mean, out of Extraction and Project Power, like it could have been either one. Like Extraction was so dope to me just on like the speed of the action and the stuff like that. But you know, anything that's kind of like superhero stuff with me is gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's it. Go ahead.
The graphics I thought on Project Power were pretty decent too. The special effects. You know,
good.
you hear just like Netflix movie, and you're like, I don't know. But yeah, they did a good job there.
Dude, Netflix has a brilliant business model, because if you look at the way their stocks and stuff set up, they got money to burn. Like,
oh yeah,
they can create a whole Star Wars if they wanted to, and keep the change. So that's it for movies. Let's go with top 10 TV shows. I know we all got 10. The TV shows probably did.
I only got 5.
You only got 5? Okay. What about you, Sketch?
I've got 10, but I can drop it to 5 if we need. No.
Let me see if I can sacrifice anything.
I can listen to y'all 5.
All right, so
I'm interested to see what y'all say.
This was COVID. We were trapped in.
We was trapped in. You had.
I was watching stuff from I'm watching Blacklist from 2 years ago, and it's 8 seasons to Blacklist. Yeah. So I'm watching old stuff. So I had to put only the new stuff I watched. So that's where I was stuck at.
Okay. So me and Sketch just gonna go back and forth from 10, and we'll bring you in at 5. So
got it.
So 10. This is gonna sound ultra corny, ultra. I can't believe he said this, but I just enjoyed this show this year. It's new on TV. Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady has been excellent. It has been excellent. When I'm yelling at the screen, pick door number 3. When I'm doing that, I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and Wayne Brady is excellent. They have done a great job in doing the COVID conversion with it. I just think for it to be like a primetime show, them giving away money, they doing stuff for they started doing it for the essential workers, which I thought was great. So these people who was working at grocery stores and nurses and people working at the fire department, they went in cars and stuff. I thought that was excellent. So Let's Make a Deal, get my vote. So that's me. Sketch.
Yeah, my number 10, you may laugh at it too, but it's proof that I now live in a house with a 10-year-old boy. Mm-hmm. But it's called The Investigators, and it's on Netflix.
Investigators.
Investigators with a B, because they are the best investigators. But it's about it's an Australian show. It's about a group of kids that solve mysteries, and they're harmless mysteries. There's no blood or guts or sex or anything, but there's some clever humor. It's a kid show that an adult doesn't mind watching, and my new son just loves it. So Investigators made the list.
Okay. So what you got for number? Yeah. What you got for number 9?
Number 9, another Hulu exclusive. I noticed that a lot of my favorite shows were from streaming services. So but this was Little Fires Everywhere with Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon, based on a book. And I think it's maybe nine episodes, but kind of a story unfolds of two women in the suburbs, and there's a race and class undertone in there too. So that's one that I enjoyed.
Okay. So my 9 is Umbrella Academy season 2. Same thing.
That was fire.
Little race undertone.
Yeah.
The whole cult thing was really funny to me. It was really good. I thought they did a really good job at the writing and stuff like that. Like and if you are a Christian who is monitoring your ear gate, eye gate, I do not advise you to watch it. So any stream, I think any streaming TV shows that are not for like family and kids, if it's on the streaming service, they gonna just throw it in there. Like I'm not gonna watch the Animaniacs because I seen it on Hulu. I couldn't get past the first song because when they showed all 3 of the Animaniacs on the bathroom door in the beginning, I said I already know what time it is, so I just cut that off. So yeah, number 8, Sketches on you.
Yeah, When They See Us, and that might have been another 2019 thing, but the Netflix dramatization of the Central Park 5, I believe that was the thing that they got, and kind of retold their story and showed what those 4 teenagers like went through, and obviously brought in who the current president Trump, how he was even involved in that, but really moving story that just helped highlight some of the circumstances that we even found ourselves continuing in 2020. So,
okay.
Ava DuVernay, I think, is the one that directed that or was involved in that project. So she does really good stuff.
Eva DuVernay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So my number 8, I believe, was on my 10 last year, and they still killing it. SWAT. SWAT still going strong. Like the writing is still good. The action is still good. A lot of it's still unbelievable. SWAT is my 8. Number 7.
I had Hip Hop Evolution.
Evolution.
It's a documentary series on Netflix that I think it's in its 3rd season, but they do a good job. It's hosted by Shad, the MC from Canada, who's expressed some parts of him being a believer, but they dig into like spotlighting. Here's how the South came about, and then here's what the mixtape era of hip hop was about, and that sort of thing. So some really good interviews and background that helps you dig into that stuff and maybe even let you relive some of that time period if you were involved in it.
So my number 7, we on 7, right?
Yep.
So my number 7 is probably one of me and Reddy's favorites for a lot of reasons. All Rise. All Rise. All Rise.
I love it.
All Rise.
It's dope.
One great thing about it is when the pandemic started, they did a whole show on Zoom, which they pulled it off. It was like effortless, and I thought that was kudos to them. That was an amazing episode. So yeah.
I think just to hop in on that, I think what they did that was awesome was the fact that they kind of made it so that the show mirrored reality. And I think some shows were scared, and they were kind of trying to say, should I go in and mirror reality, or should we try to move away from that because people don't really want to live through this again on TV? But they did an excellent job of kind of walking alongside us as we went through this COVID thing. So it's good. It's a good show.
There's another show that it wasn't on my list, but when you're saying that they did a whole episode on Zoom, there was the Parks and Recreation special they did that was all kind of on Zoom, and they wove the story in between. It wasn't just the people giving their performances on Zoom. It was the whole that dove into the story, which was pretty clever.
Right. So what your 7?
Yeah, I already said my 7. My number 6 is the
6.
Umbrella Academy. So
Okay.
you mentioned it earlier.
Yep.
And I got into it with the pandemic. And when I first saw it, and I like some superhero stuff, probably not as much as you guys, but I was like, this thing is weird. I was like, they've got a monkey butler. They've got a guy who's, overgrown.
Yep.
They've got a ghost thing, but the characters really come together, and there's a good amount of humor in it too. So it was interesting, and like you guys were talking about, even with some of the movies and Netflix kind of. I think Brinson, you said like they could do their own Star Wars. I have read, and you've seen now that they've tapped into the superhero like genre, but without being aligned with Marvel or with DC.
Right.
So, Old Guard, Umbrella Academy. Project Power, some of those things, they know it's a hot genre, so they're looking for some original stories around that, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, because they know it's real lucrative. So
yeah, it's money.
My 6 is SEAL Team. It was on my list.
Show.
It was on my list last year. The writing is still superb. They still doing everything. They hitting everything right with SEAL Team. Making you think somebody's gonna die. They bring them back, and they keep you on the hook for the next week. Like I love binge watching, but this is like one of the shows that I'm cool waiting to the next week to watch. Because at some points you get too into it, you like, all right, let me shut this off. They got me hyped up. So what we on? We on 5?
Yeah, we're on 5.
Ready? Jump in with
5.
your 5.
All right, I got it super low. And I will say, I will
Uh-oh.
caution everything by saying this is a COVID curve. Mandalorian.
Man,
log
off.
I believe
log off. Log off. Log off.
Number 5. So I believe that if we weren't in COVID, I'm not sure how much time when we were just looking for something new. It was like, wow, this is going to be free or not free, but it's going to be on the Disney app. And there's nothing really new that's on. And me and my son will tune in every Friday and we're watching Mandalorian and loving it. So it started a little slow, then it got better as it went on. Really liked it. It's a good show. I know Brinson has Mandalorian as number 1. I know it. That's the list.
I know. I called that one too. So
my God. Let me get my number 5 out the way, because I'm in like this. Usually when we do these shows, I get shocked once. This one, I didn't think I was gonna get shocked till we went to like Christian hip hop album of the year. I'm in shock. Ah! All right. My goodness. Number 5. Ultraman. Ultraman.
Okay.
I will caution the believers in saying, if you are protecting your eye gate and ear gate, you look at it with the captions off, because they saying some stuff. So, but the action was amazing. The story was a lot of nuances you probably wouldn't get unless you watch anime and you understand like Japanese culture with like how they show emotion and stuff like that. Like certain things I was like, this is crazy. But then I had to remember like the way they express emotion is totally different than like the way people in America do it. But it had twists. I love a good twist. They had twists. They had good character building. The way that they did the animation, you could tell that they had real actors doing it, and then they put it into the computer, which was really good. The fight scenes was amazing because they had real people fighting. So Ultraman, it could be higher up, but it should have been higher up, but that's where it landed. Sketch, your 5.
AEW Dynamite. This is something we talked about last year, a new wrestling show. And wrestling was different this year with COVID and no live crowds. But AEW Dynamite did an interesting thing. They had access to this outdoor venue. They put their wrestlers at the side, so that it brought some life into it. And then toward the end of this year, it's gotten even super interesting with Kenny Omega having the championship and like appearing on other shows and maybe even bringing that multiverse together in wrestling. So I've enjoyed and stayed true to AEW Dynamite even during COVID.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Woo, number 5. Okay. Number 4, I'll start with 4. Star Trek Discovery. Season, what season is this? Season 3 and 2 was in this year. So writing phenomenal. They draw you in. There is a couple of parts of it that I really don't like, but the writing is so good that it kind of overshadowed, and I can hit fast forward because it's on the streaming service. But other than that, like I like Star Trek. Like I'm a big Deep Space Nine fan. Captain Sisko is the dude. I haven't watched Picard yet, but just the lead and all the and everything that they got in it, and just the storyline with like all of the Federation ships blowing up and the going to the future, going to the past. You know, I anything with time travel, I'm in. So that's my 4.
Yeah.
Ready?
All right, so I caught this show on accident. I was scrolling through Amazon Prime, and then they had IMDb for free, and there's a show called Alex Rider. So Alex Rider was another one of those picks, almost like Artemis Fowl, the beginnings of a superhero as a teenager. I watched it like in one day because they had I think it's 8 episodes. I watched it in one day, and then I told my sister about it, and she watched it that night, and she was like, "Yeah, that was good." I thought I was going crazy. It's a really good show. I was surprised. Well shot, good action, solid. They kind of did this Marvel thing where they had blood, but they didn't have blood. So it's kind of like you can get away with having a teenager in there, depending on their maturity level. So it was good. It was clean. Alex Rider.
Okay. Sketch.
Cool. Mine is, and I'll give the disclaimer that you gave for some believers, but it's called Dave, and it's on Hulu, and it's kind of the semi-autobiographical story about the rapper Lil Dicky.
Oh yeah,
who's kind of a comedy guy, and I didn't think that I was going to like it. I saw the preview in Hulu for a while, but I got into it. It's a half-hour show, easy to watch on your lunch break or whatever. But there's actually some heart stuff in there aside from some sexual stuff that you'll see. But it was something that surprised me and captured me. So Dave is the name of the show.
Okay. So we on 3?
3. Yeah.
3.
Ready.
Yep. Okay, so I grew up being a home improvement fan. So I used to watch Home Improvement, and I watched Al Bundy, Married with Children. I only had Fox. I had the click TV with the hanger. So that's what it was. I had Fox. So and Living Color as well. So one of my favorite shows this year has been Last Man Standing, because I'm a big Tim Allen fan. So I would watch that while I'm working out. It was a funny break away from life. So Last Man Standing.
Okay. Sketch.
My next one is a Netflix exclusive called Dead to Me, that has Christina Applegate, speaking of Married with Children, and Linda Cardellini, who's on there. So it's a comedy about 2 women who are in grief counseling and kind of bond of friendship there. Another half-hour kind of show, easy to digest, mature themes, but it was, I think, pretty well written. So,
okay, my 3 got edged from the number 1 not from number 2 because of you. I'll tell you later. Number 3, Clone Wars final season, 7th season. Clone Wars, the first look at the Bad Batch from the first 4 episodes that's about to spin off. Everything Ahsoka I love. Everything Ahsoka. Tano.
Yeah.
So people like,
is she the one with the
Yep.
stuff that comes down the side of her head?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Everything about her, boom. Her, Darth Maul at the end fighting with their CGI of the guy who played Darth Maul in A Phantom Menace. And I don't know who they got to play her, but they was fighting in the real sequence. They took their stuff,
Wow.
they computerized it, put it in the episode, the graphics, the whole story. I think they only had 3 dud episodes out the whole season, and they was back to back. So after the duds, take off. So Clone Wars season 7, the final season, I waited, what was it, 4 years for this or 5, and it finally came and they didn't disappoint. Great, great, great series.
Yeah.
Ready, what you got?
So we on number 2, right?
We on 3. I thought it was 3. Oh yeah,
You just
you're
did
on
3.
I did 3.
I'm on 2.
You on 2, so we going around. So yeah.
So gotta add my anime in there. Something that my son had been begging me to watch with him was just like, Dad, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So this particular anime it came out in Japan in 2019.
Mhm.
It got the English localization this year. So it released this year. 12 episodes. It's one of the type of shows that you will have to watch again because you begin to realize stuff at the end of the show that you wish you had knew at the beginning. It's called Promised Neverland. I would say even for anybody, like even if you don't like anime, my wife kind of watched some episodes with us too. It's a darker tone show. It starts in an orphanage, and then I'll let you see if you like anime or you want to delve in. This is a great show to delve in on. It was just good mystery, and you don't understand what's going to happen until the end. I'm pretty good at judging a show. Like I kind of know who did it on the 3rd episode, right? When you watch Blacklist, if you've seen Blacklist, already knew who the dad was, or that. So in this show, so many curves. When you get to the end, you realize who the mastermind was, and it's crazy because it's not who you expect it to be. So I would challenge anybody, go and watch Promised Neverland. Check it out, give it a shot. I think it's on Amazon. No, it's on Netflix.
Promised Neverland.
Yep, number 2.
Sketch, what's your 2?
Yeah, mine is a COVID collective one that we all watched, but I don't think it needs it on a curve. I think we would have enjoyed it anyway. But The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary about the Bulls.
Yeah.
So that came out kind of weekly, and it was a great thing during COVID to kind of watch that collectively and get in the conversation on Twitter and people reliving the glory days of the Bulls and then going back to kind of their first run of the 3. So it was surprising that ESPN had a mature language version and an unedited version, and then it eventually made its way to Netflix. We watched the edited version with our 10-year-old, and he's a sports nerd, so he was really into it. But it was a pretty good in-depth documentary that showed how ruthless Jordan can be and how he takes offense to anything but uses it as motivation to make him a better athlete and that sort of thing. Create a lot of memes and GIFs of reaction shots of him looking at the footage on the iPad. So that's definitely a highlight of 2020 for me.
And it shows that he would have never survived this social media era. He would have never survived social media. All right, so my number 2, AEW Dynamite.
Okay.
And it was 3 until last night when they had the Brody Lee tribute show. It was, the wrestling was top tier, storytelling top tier. Like you could tell from the loss of a fallen comrade how everybody was extremely emotional, but went out and just gave their all. And not just AEW Dynamite, but they got those spin-off YouTube shows that are hilarious and they're doing everything right in wrestling. And me being a big wrestling fan and was through the Attitude Era, the 80s big man era, and seeing how AEW is doing and how they booking and everything else, like it's so fun to watch. And they got so many different personalities and people that and I just hate the fact that the pandemic is here, because they're filming every week in my city and I cannot go. It's horrible. It's horrible.
I know, it's crazy that it's so close to you, man.
It's so close. And I mean, I haven't even ran into a wrestler because I'm not out traveling like that, and they, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm going to just go to number one, number one, because it's obvious that my number one, starring Grogu, starring Mandalorian, starring.
Put that down, Grogu.
Starring Moff Gideon, starring Ahsoka Tano, starring everybody else I ever wanted to see. Mandalorians saving 2020. I went back and watched it with no interruptions. Wait, let me pause. All right, this dude, and I'm going to talk about him on my podcast because we're here. And let me tell you people something. When you see something great on TV, keep it to yourself for at least 78 hours. Because this guy, he calls himself the man Ron Lorian. I'm talking about you, brother, and you're going to hear this. He ruined, and I mean ruined the season finale for me that I've been waiting years to see. And I'm going to digress, but I just want to let him know verbally, because he can't hear this over Twitter. Because I hit him up Twitter. I'm like, you're the worst person in the world. God bless you, but you are the worst. All right, I'm done. Number one. Sketch, what's your number one?
I've not seen Mandalorian yet. It's on my watch list, so apologies for that. But my number one was a Netflix show called Rami, and it was in, I believe it's second season.
Rami.
So it's about a Muslim American who is living a pretty secular lifestyle, but wants to be dedicated to his faith. So obviously I don't share that faith, but I think it's very fascinating to kind of watch this guy kind of explore that. And you don't see a lot of stories about faith, period, or Muslims. It's not like them being extremist or something like that. But this is a 20-something millennial kind of trying to find his way through it. And there's obviously some mature content, but again, I look at it even through a Christian point of view and like, what would this be if it was represented about my faith? Like a 20-something was raised in this church culture or this religious culture and trying to live it out truthfully, but also drawn by the world and kind of the conflict in there. So Rami Youssef, he's a comedian who wrote the show and acts in it. Another half-hour one you can easily digest, but that would be my recommendation.
Okay. Ready with your number one.
Sketch, have you ever seen Jack Ryan?
I have not yet.
So on Jack Ryan, they do a good job of representing different viewpoints of Muslims. You got a Muslim cop. The main enemy is a Muslim that was turned off by the way people treated him when he tried to come to America. And you have his wife, and so you have all these different aspects of a Muslim. They did a great job on that show as well, on Jack Ryan. I just watched it because I told you I watched a whole bunch of old stuff. So my number one, let me digress for a quick second about people spoiling shows. And I'm never going to forgive my mama for this. So I'm watching Blue Bloods, and I'm finally catching up to the new season. And then my mom comes, and this is last year, and she tells me about somebody who dies like I knew about it and ruined she ruined like the whole build-up of whether the lady was going to die or not.
Wait. What season is this? Because I watched Blue Blood.
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, don't.
How far are you? Are you?
I'm not all that far, but I've been watching it. So don't.
Okay.
Let her live.
She destroyed it for me. And then she's like, so I told you, so what? She didn't care. So it is what it is. Gotta love mamas. So for me, I will give the disclaimer that they've given about these kind of shows. This is a very adult show. I would tell you to go to either Plugged In or IMDb. IMDb breaks down stuff per episode to tell you what you might see in an episode, just in case you might want to have the fast forward button ready. Like Brinson, I grew up, me and my sister used to watch Star Trek, and we used to watch ER with Eric LaSalle, old school. So we used to watch Jean-Luc Picard, Star Trek. So one of my favorite show this year thus far has been The Expanse. It's on Amazon Prime. Total sci-fi. I think there are 3 seasons in, all brand new characters, nobody you've ever seen before. Excellent, built from the ground up. This could be a new, Starship Galactica, if you will. Super good show. Too much stuff to talk about to break down what it is. Just go and watch it if you like sci-fi stuff. There's gonna be sex. There's gonna be, like most science shows, an attack against faith, if you will. But there's also gonna be some other sides of some different things to talk about as well. So if you can get through those kind of things and those kind of things don't bother you, go and watch The Expanse if you like sci-fi.
Boom.
Yeah.
So that's our list for top 10 shows. Now for the list everybody has been waiting for, the top 10 Christian hip hop albums of 2020. And let me just say this before we jump into it. Because of the pandemic, social unrest, the political climate, Christian hip hop was a necessity for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for people who were is young in the faith, for people who needed strength, a lot of people turned to Christian hip hop and not secular hip hop because they needed something real to anchor themselves in. So if you are a Christian hip hop artist listening to this, you are essential. God, let the Lord keep using you because people needed what you have. And this is sponsored by one of our Patreons, Chris Sims. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for supporting the GodChaserz podcast. So number 10, I'm gonna kick it off. And I know my number 10 might be sketch number 3. So let's see.
Theory has
it. y'all still ain't washing your hands.
Yeah.
And I want to say, if you love straight boom bap and you love vinyl, Theory Has It is selling his vinyl now. But the thing is, he has to sell 100 for him to be produced. So if you like vinyl and you want to support this brother and make sure that people get this vinyl, I'm thinking about buying a second copy just to kind of ensure that we get them. Go and get a copy. It's $30. Just look for Theory Has It on online. So shout out to Theory. You know what I'm saying? So that's my 10. Ready? Who's your 10?
Number 10 is K9 45. Really good album. K9 has always been, to me, our version of Slick Rick. Awesome storyteller. He's just great at it. He's one of the best. So I've been listening to K9 since Regardless, I believe, is the first one that I saw in the store when he was with Koch, I believe, at that point. Super dope. I was glad to see it come out. And this season has been a great season for old school artists. On the secular side, of course, we had Nas, we had Busta Rhymes, we had Black Thought. And on our side, we also had Mouthpiece, who came back. We had K9 come back. We had a number of older rappers come back and grace the mic for us. So it's been a blessing. So, yeah, K9 45.
Sketch.
Yeah. I had Rel McCoy and Peace 586. They did a project called No More Soda. So that was off of Elect. And I didn't know Rel McCoy too much before then. But, again, it's some good boom bap rap if you like. And Peace 586 is still making really good beats. So
Shout out to Elect. My vinyl collection is, I would say 30% Elect recording. It might be 50, but anything they come out with, I get the vinyl. So
yeah, and thanks for the reminder on Theory Has It. I need to buy that, and I didn't realize that he was needed a threshold to be able to produce it.
Yeah,
so I will order mine.
the reason I know
days.
this is because I went and looked up the company that he's using, and I was like, well, they have a thing for artists to do it, and if you're an artist, you do a threshold with them, and if you meet it, they produce the record. So, you know, he hasn't said it, but I'm gonna say it so we can look. I want the record. So
yeah, for sure. And I think it'll be a good time capsule memory piece for 2020. Just the song, the title alone, and that sort of thing, which is still relevant today. Y'all still ain't washing your hands. We're still in COVID.
Right. And you know, when you make your Christian hip hop historian book, you could just throw that in there.
I'll do that.
Theory was in his bag. I mean, Theory was in his bag. He was in rare form.
He was
rapping. He was rapping.
So my number 9 is a newer project, Mouthpiece No Delay. The stick out song for me was Vessel of God. That is one of the toughest tracks I heard this entire year. I mean, it was boldness, proclamation. He was telling the Lord, if you need a sword, use me. I'm like, it was tough. So no delay, number 9. Ready, what you got?
Number 9, I got Flame Daybreak. I believe Flame came out with 2 albums this year. I think the other one is it was a Lutheran project, if you will. The second one was Daybreak, which was more of a fighting at the social ills of the world kind of project. Old school Flame, as far as, you know, he was rapping. He was doing what Flame do. He was really polished. He's coming off of his mother passing away, so condolences to him and his family. But he did a great job on this project. I had to leave out The Truth and Limbo Blaze because I just couldn't get into it. It was Caribbean. I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. I got it, but I just couldn't get into it. So Flame Daybreak.
Okay. Sketch number 9.
Gavi Heathen. I've really enjoyed his projects. At first I wasn't too sure about him being an artist himself. He was obviously a good producer, but I think he hits that lane of kind of this pop urban kind of stuff. There's some stuff that sounds like I don't know. But I really enjoyed it. Not Too Far is a great song where he talks about how could you even love a heathen like me and that sort of thing. So it's an enjoyable listen.
Okay. Give us your 8. Keep going, Sketch.
Okay. My 8 is another producer MC project, Swoop and I just blanked on his name.
Taylor Gray.
Yeah. Touch Not Mine Anointed. So they both come from kind of a traditional black church background, and it's got a lot of that soul sample in it. And Taylor Gray's a good lyricist, so definitely check that one out. It was released pretty early into 2020, so might have gone under the radar for some folks, but that's what I would put at number 8.
Number 8, I give mine. And I might be biased, but I was thoroughly impressed with my number 8. Number 8, Oatmeal, Instant. Oatmeal, from Just Add Water to Instant, I saw a total night and day shift lyrically, delivery, because I helped a lot on Just Add Water with hooks, beat selection. I think only input I gave was a verse, but I was so impressed that after he was done, I felt like he was in such a lane. I was like, I need to hurry up and do a song with him so I can have it on a project. And I was right. He didn't disappoint. So Oatmeal Instant, to me, I think that's like his, and he didn't have the sophomore curse, which was great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who in rap history had a better second album than the first. I mean,
John Keith.
Okay.
And on Christian side, John Keith, also The Truth, because I didn't like the Moment of the Truth. I think his second one was The Faith.
Yeah. You got it right, but I really like the Moment of Truth. But yeah,
Moment of Truth was okay, but the Faith was like he left his world to me. I was like, okay, this dude is rapping.
Except for when Shabbat came and he caught a body. So I mean, I don't know.
People sleeping on Shabbat though. People don't know about Shabbat.
Well, nobody know about him right now. So we praying for you, Shabbat, if you out there.
Yeah.
Number 7, ready?
Oh, number 8. Number 8 for me.
Oh, number 8. Okay.
Infantry inventory. This also came early in the year. If you don't know what infantry is, this is Eshawn's dudes. Brother 3. This dude name, I think his name is Church. You also got who else is the dude who sing all the hooks?
Jeremiah Bliging.
Yeah, Jeremiah Bliging, which he was murdering most of the tracks on there, and also Tone Spain. And the dude Jay Kablasa, the singer. Okay. I'm probably saying his name wrong. Forgive me, brother, if I said it wrong. Dope album, super solid. They did a mesh of new school rapping, you know, kind of the Big Sean style rapping, but also some old school bars. So really good project, super solid. Infantry inventory.
Okay. Sketch. No. Wait. Ready? Go to your 7.
7. Brinson, Throw the Crown.
At 7?
So, yeah. So, I really love this album. I normally don't like to put us in this list because I know people feel like, you just put him in there because that's your dude. And yeah, he's my brother, but he did a great job on this album. Did a great job on everything on this whole album. So I really liked it, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the album art.
Come on, somebody.
Solid project.
Super solid
project.
Come on, somebody. Let's talk album art. Come on, somebody. But it's no awards for album art, so you know what you're going to do. So 7, Sketch.
I'll say Wande exit from Reach Records. So yeah, it was again kind of had a good pop feel. She also incorporates her Nigerian heritage really well. So it's a fun listen. And I've been blessed to be in Houston where we've got Engine Radio that plays a lot of music. So obviously we'll hear a lot of Reach Records, but it's also given me a perspective of what kind of works on a radio side. And now being around a 10-year-old, I know what he likes. As you'll see, kind of my top 3, but Wande's a good listen. So
Wande, shout out to Wande. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. So we're on my 7. Number 7, Mouthpiece 5780. Is that how you say it? Is that?
Yeah, it's 5780.
5780. Really thorough. I think what I really liked about that Mouthpiece album for 5780 is because he wasn't just rapping, he was really doing like a sermon. Like on every track, it was a sermon. He didn't mess around with the bars. The beats was dope. The hooks was good. It came out on the same day as Throw the Crown and Plain James From the Heart. So it was a great album. And I think it was longer than his usual albums. I think it was maybe like 15 tracks, something like that.
It was long.
Yeah. So my number 7 for top 10 of 2020 Mouthpiece 5780. So number 6. Are we still on 7? Sketch, you got to help me.
I did 7. Did you do 7?
You did your 7?
Yeah, I did 7.
All right.
Okay,
so
you're on 6.
6. Ready? It's on you.
Bizzle the Messenger. I would have had Bizzle the Messenger 4 to be exact. I would have had this more up, but it came out really early in the year and it didn't have staying power with me. Like, he did some great songs.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Bizzle is lyrically inclined. That brother can rap any kind of way you want it. He can do it.
Yeah.
What I enjoyed was watching people on YouTube who didn't listen to Christian rap listen to Lucky You, because they were surprised. And so I love the reaction of the people who may have never heard a Christian rap like that. Look it up.
Is that the song where he's like driving and
Nuh-uh, that's He's the Man or You the Man, something like that.
Oh yeah.
You the Man. This is the song where he's saying, y'all better be happy I didn't go secular rap, because I would have been killing you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very good CD. Enjoyed it a lot, but it didn't have a lot of staying power, so it didn't crack my 5.
Okay. I do my 6. My 6 is Bizzle the Messenger Volume 4. No, the thing was, Lucky You was such a very dope, bold song. Like maybe I like that rap that's like make you feel like somebody is spiritually getting swung on. That was good. The story that he did, You the Man, that was a really good one. I like a lot of the songs. I like the lyrical transitions. I like the delivery. I like the beat selection. The Rick Ross song I really like because of the beat was spot on. It sounded like something I would get, but it was dope. So 6, Bizzle Messenger, that's pretty cool. We got the same one. Now if Sketch have the same one at number 6, everybody in 2021 better watch out, because Jesus probably coming back.
No, my number 6 was Throw the Crown. So I enjoyed that one. So and one of my favorite songs on the project, you got two of the people on this podcast, so ReadyWriter, and y'all did the Last Dragons joint.
Last Dragons
was really great. And I think my other one was the Pettit East song. But yeah, you did a great job of rolling that out. Did a lot of videos. The artwork was phenomenal, and I'm really glad that you use that in multiple ways. The Art of God Chasing project that kind of came along with it was really cool. So salute to you, Brinson. That was a good project. So
yeah, I heard that. 6 and 7. Get your mind right, Christian hip hop. So okay, I got super happy. What number we on? 6?
Yeah, 6? I did 6.
Okay, that's 6. Yeah. No, so now we're on 5. Now we're on 5.
Yeah.
So I'll go with my 5. And this is probably Reddy's number 1. My number 5, Eshawn Burgundy, Joppa.
Joppa.
And check this out. I'm late on it because I listen to music in different waves. I don't listen to it at the top of when everybody is in hypnosis, as Cannabis would say. I'm not the hypnosis listener. I wait till people stop talking about stuff, and then I go back and listen to it. Like, I already supported it and all this other stuff, but I won't listen to nothing as long as people talking. After people calm down, then I'll go and enjoy it. But I think beat selection, he showed out lyrically. Great project by Eshawn. The project he had before, I was like, this is probably his best project, but The Love of Money, I was like, this is probably his best project, but this job, I don't know.
Don't say that.
It's they neck and neck to me. I mean, I don't know. So that's my number 5. Sketch, what you got for 5?
I forgot about Joppa. That's a good one. My 5 is Theory Has It. Y'all still ain't washing your hands. So just listened to it just recently. But yeah, he's rapping and making beats, and it's classic Theory Has It that you've come to know and love.
What was your favorite track on that one?
Shoot, there's one that's like extra spiritual for it. I can't remember the name. Dang it. It's like the 3rd or 4th track.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Shoot, I'll have to look up the title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Theory Has It. Ready? Where you at?
So I love The Theory Has It Too. I didn't put it on my list because I missed the window to buy it, so I couldn't listen to it again. So I'm gonna have to buy the actual.
It's on streaming services now.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stream it then. I tried to buy it on Bandcamp.
I had to
and
say that low
I missed
because
the window.
I know Brinson's thoughts on that. So,
Hey.
but I'm gonna buy the hard copy too. So
Get the vinyl ready.
yes.
So I'm gonna do that. So number 5, and it's amazing because KB is one of my favorite rappers, but he's low on this list. Though I think the song, what's the name of the song he came out with early in the year? It's an anthem song that he came
10K?
out early in the year.
10K.
No,
10K.
it's after 10K.
Armies.
So Armies, life was tough, and Armies happened. And I was texting barbers and different people who was all listening to that song, and that song was super special to me. What I understand about KB now is he is a master at taking old gospel songs and making them rap songs. Because those are the songs that normally pop for him, or those songs where he remixes some old Shirley Caesar song like he did with Not Today's Sake. Right. So it's called Glory Alone. I love the Little Boy song. I listened to it like 10,000 times, and the Army song and the 10K. He's a good rapper.
And this is your 5?
That's my 5.
Wow. I thought that would be higher on your list. Okay.
I got people on that's higher on that list that had more songs that was more special in this season to me.
Okay.
Okay.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So number 4, I'll go
Number 5 still. You still number 5, right?
Nah, I said Joppa. Sketch said Theory.
So we on 4, okay.
Okay, 4. I would say this album came out of nowhere for me, right? But the replay value has been phenomenal. Serene Poems, Art of Living.
I forgot to put that on my list.
Serene Poems, like, I don't know, because I've been paying attention to Elect. You know what I'm saying? They outside of GodChaserz, they might be my favorite label. They might be. They might be my favorite label. So when I just bought it just because they had vinyl, right? And when I played it and listened to it and got the remixes and stuff like that, like, I just really enjoyed the production, the message. It was grown man. I'm about my father's business rap. And the producer, is it New Slim? How do you say
New Self?
New Self. Okay.
Wow. I would have never got that out of his name.
So I was so impressed with New Self that you're gonna hear a few tracks on me and ReadyWriter's project that's coming out this year. Like that's how much I love this project. So Serene Poems, New Self, Art of Living. If the Good Morning track, my favorite track on there. So first track on there is wild, and it's super dope to hear it on vinyl. That's all I'm saying. So Sketch 4, who you got?
Number 4, No Big Deal, the Slowercase mixtape. So this is a chopped and screwed version of his Lowercase album.
H-Town.
Done by Houston one. But it was a sort of surprise, and apparently he's a legitimate fan of the chopped and screwed sound and was a DJ Screwhead when he was growing up. But it gives you a new appreciation, I think, for that album. And I grew at a great appreciation for No Big Deal stuff. So just when it's slowed down and it gives you a different tempo, you could catch some of his wordplay and that sort of stuff. So I enjoyed it. He even did some merch with a retro 90s rap stuff. I bought that t-shirt. So No Big Deal, Slowercase mixtape. I think you can find it at slowercasemixtape.com or whatnot. So
ready.
Somebody else did a screwed down mixtape too. What's the dude name that was with Reach and then he left? Tall dude, braids.
Aha Gazelle.
Yeah, he did one as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For number 4, I got Mouthpiece. No Delay / 5780. I believe to me that No Delay was better.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll say this: the reason I liked this particular album was there was a place in Christian rap when we used to speak super forcefully,
Yes,
and aggressive, and I
yeah,
felt like Mouthpiece came back with aggressive gospel. Like we hear rappers who rap and they're aggressive, but they're not aggressive with the gospel. And I think Mouthpiece came back with that aggressive gospel that I missed so much. And I was like, man, I forgot I used to love that kind of rap, because now we just kind of wavy, kind of, kind of put it in there here and there, but not aggressive in your face with the gospel like Mouthpiece was on this album. So yeah, No Delay /5780 for number 4.
Sketch.
I did number 4. Did you do your number 4?
Yeah, Serene Palms.
Oh, okay, yeah. So my number
no.
3, K9 45.
Ah,
So, yeah, we've already talked about him a little bit, but just a really great storyteller. I was hooked from the first song about being a grandpa, like one who writes about that in hip hop, and he's very like transparent, talking about his daughter like having a kid before he was ready, and here I am, a Christian rapper, and I'm preaching against this and that sort of thing, but then grows to love the role, and just it's great to hear a dude that can do it that well. So yeah.
Well, my number 3, KB, His Glory Alone. The anthems. So you Reddy said something about flipping those songs.
Yeah.
R. Swift did Awesome God.
yeah.
He did that flip. And the thing is, he made, I don't know if I can say that, but it financially, it didn't do good for him. I'll say that because of label stuff. It didn't do good for him, but that was his biggest song, and he could have kept doing it, and it's a wave. You know what I'm saying? So I think KB has done it so much now. It seemed like it's his, but other people have done it. But I think he rapped great, and I think if Oatmeal was on this podcast, that'll be his number 1, because KB is his favorite rapper. I'm gonna just put him out there like that. But the beats was good, the selection was good, the singing, the post production, just the build around the songs, like the melodies, like everything worked. And I gotta shout out a group that you don't hear me talk about at all, just because of like post production and the way that they structure songs. The Social Club Misfits Feared by Hell album was really good with the production, the beats, just the way that it was put together. So I gotta shout them out, because I think what they did and what KB did is pretty similar, but KB album number 3. Ready.
So number 3, I've been waffling back and forth. This is my surprise pick. A lot of people didn't hear this. Like, I listen to Track Stars here and there, and they didn't even talk about it being released. So it's Brother 3. The name of the album is Traffic. What I like, and if you don't know who Brother 3 is, there was a spot when Jim Stones was killing everything on the Christian side, and the person he was trying to introduce was Brother 3. Brother 3 is signed to Infantry with Eshawn Burgundy. Super solid rapper, can do it both ways. Got bars, got double time rap. The album, and this is what I miss about hip hop. You used to be able to hear an album. I remember when I first heard Jen's Christian album, that was about his last one, that made you want to go and visit where he's from. And so when you hear this CD about traffic, where he breaks down, a lot of the songs are related to traffic in general. But it makes you want to visit Chicago. It makes you feel how he feels and his love about Chicago. Good storytelling. It's a super solid album that I would tell anybody to go and pick up if you haven't picked it up yet, and give it a shot and give it a listen. I heard it the first time, but I wasn't ready to listen to it the first time. Then I went back to it as of late, and I loved it. So it's one of those albums I had to come back to, and I was like, wow, I missed it on this one. This was a great album. So Brother 3, Traffic.
Sketch.
Yeah. My number 2?
Number 2.
My number 2 is Lecrae's Restoration.
Woo!
So, and I appreciate Lecrae. He's not my favorite rapper, but this one definitely, and again, I think I've been influenced somewhat. I see what works on radio and what works with my son now, and he loves a bunch of those songs. The Wheels Up, Zombie, Set Me Free. My favorite is Drown with John Legend, and I mean, one, to get John Legend on a feature and singing it that well, and it really works with that song. So I'm happy to see him do that, and he just put out a deluxe version of it with a couple more songs with a little more of his Reach Records folks. There's the Celebration song with Holvey and that sort of stuff. So props to Lecrae. Restoration was a good one.
Okay.
And I got it. He did released a book this year too. I haven't read it yet, but I've purchased it. It's sitting on my shelf. Is something that I'm going to get to later on.
Dude, you have to post a picture of your shelf with all the Christian hip hop books that you got, because you have been supporting people for a while.
Yeah, I've been trying to. So, and it's good that there's that many people in our community that are writing and publishing books like yourself. So happy to do it. So yeah, Lecrae, number 2, Restoration.
So my number 2 for Christian hip hop album of 2020, my number 2, K9 45, and everybody knew it was gonna be high on my list, but I mean, storytelling aspect, the grandpa song, because I had an emotional attachment to it, because I was the person.
You're part of that song.
Yeah, I'm part of the song.
Yeah,
and then the Where I'm From track got featured on there. The Power of Prayer track, he did a track like he was drunk talking against the church. Just a phenomenal record. The All I Need track is probably my favorite track on that project, because I feel like it's a anointed track, and when you're down, that's the one that you got to go to. So my number 2, K9 45. Man, I just wish that more outlets picked up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a I think all of our top 10s, if we had 80 to 100 grand to put behind these projects just so the world could hear them, it would be a phenomenal thing. So my number 2, Ready, where you at?
So number 2, Sketch already talked about it, Gavi Heathen. So early on, I think it came out in March or maybe February. It came out. We're coming into COVID. Things are crazy, and I'm just listening to this CD like every day. I'm working out to this CD. Like Sketch, I was like, I don't know if Gavi's gonna be the one, but then you start to like his voice. Mm-hmm. You start to like what he's saying, and then his production, of course, because we all know him from all the way from Rima Soul when he was doing production and different things like that. So he's great at that, and some of the Trip Lee projects that he's done as well, just Reach Record projects in general. So I would say that Gavi is a great album. You got songs like Skull. What are the other songs on there that I like? The Girl song. There's just a lot of songs on there where it talks about what the name is, the heathen aspect and how people judge. So I would tell anybody to go and just listen to it. It's a good listen. It's a real solid, really good album that I love this year. So, Gavi Heathen.
Number 2, Sketch.
I did my number 2, Lecrae. So I'm number 1 now.
So we're on number 1. So before we go to number 1, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the GodChaserz podcast. Go to GodChaserz.com. Pick up the Out the Vault project by Brinson. Out the Vault. GodChaserz coming. ReadyWriter. Brinson coming next year, called Medallions. It's going to be a GodChaserz.com exclusive, and pre-orders is going to go up the second week of January. So keep your eyes on the GodChaserz.com web store, and follow ReadyWriter on Twitter at ReadyWriter with 2 T's. We gotta get his numbers up. All right, number one. Number one, we're gonna start with Sketch. Let's go.
Number one, we've all talked about it. KB's His Glory Alone. So again, that's another one I've really been impressed with him the last couple of years. Early in his career, he seemed a little bit too reliant on kind of fast rapping and that sort of thing, and I kind of blew him off. But if you listen to his lyrics, he's got a really strong pen. He's got great wordplay, and then obviously this one, like we've all talked about, these kind of church songs, whether it's CCM choruses or gospel stuff. In a lot of ways, that can be a bit of a shortcut to Christian radio airplay or acceptance in genres outside of hip hop. Oh yeah, I like that one. But I think he does it really well, and it works in a really great way. And again, I've seen it connect with a lot of people. I hear his songs all the time on Engine Radio, and then my 10-year-old adores him, and that's his favorite rapper too. So, but I appreciate that album, and I hear a whole lot of it. And I love that it's given, especially my son, an opportunity to sing these songs. And I hear him walking around the house singing these choruses or using these lyrics and that sort of thing. And it showed me again the power of Christian hip hop that we've talked about and what it can mean. So I'm thankful for that. So.
And before Reddy gives his number two, we just want to give a shout out to all. Number one, give a shout out to all the Christian hip hop artists that are doing this thing for the Lord. Please keep doing it. We got you in our prayers, and please keep going and do it for Jesus, not for clout. Do it for Jesus and not for clout. All right, Reddy, you're number one.
So I left a CD off my list, and for the life of me right now, I cannot remember the name of the rapper's album. He's with Culture Villains. His name is Cam. His album is phenomenal. I meant to put him on my list. I just thought about it just now. He would have been somewhere in the midst. Somebody would have got kicked off because of his album. Listen to the whole thing. He is next up. If you have not heard Cam from Culture Villains, I believe the name of the album is Protection or something similar to that. Go look that dude up. He is the one. He's next. Dude is fired. So my favorite album this year was Andy Mineo, Happy Thoughts. It came on the song. He says he thought it was done, but he came in God's timing. We needed the funniness of him and, No Big Deal making a song. I think that song was called Willie. And some of the other songs, some of the TikTok stuff he did, the TikTok competition. Yeah. They had some great rappers on it. Yeah, Monster Tara and that one lady who murdered it. I can't think of her name right now, but she went in.
Cannon killed it too.
Yeah, Cannon did going too. My favorite songs on there, Rhymin' the Ramen was fire. Shibuya Roll Call, and my favorite song of all was Always in a Rush. He did videos with I think almost all the songs. We got Chunky Andy at this point because he's married, and we all kind of get that weight when we get married. It's a great album. Talks about a lot of stuff. He's reflective. He sings on there. He rhymes. He does everything. He does some hip hop in there. Double time rap. Definitely my favorite CD of the year.
Boom. And my number one album for 2020 is going to surprise a lot of people. Throw the Crown by this guy named Brinson. I really connected with the album. I from the altar
you look
call.
A little bit like the guy on the cover.
Hey, woo! That's a compliment. The dude, the altar call at the end with the Star Wars sample. I connected with that. That was heavy. the ciphers that we miss. Shout out to Hog Mob and God Over Money for their ciphers. I love ciphers. The track with Zay Hill was phenomenal. I mean, I think two things was missing off of that album. One was a track with K9 that was missing, and a track with Stephen Wiley. I think that would have been the dream track. But Throw the Crown, my number one pick for 2020. And I know that's gonna surprise a lot of people because they probably thought that would probably be lower on my list, but that's number one.
So we all omitted Toby.
I think because he's outside of the Christian hip hop space.
Mm-hmm. That's why I didn't put him on.
Because I would love to see him with a Eshawn. I would love to see him with a Dayton or Brinson or if Gemstones ever come back to music.
He's coming.
I would love to see him with one of these guys. You know,
and to clarify, you're talking about Toby and Wigway and not Toby Mac.
Toby and Wigway, yeah.
Oh, I thought you was talking about Toby Mac. No, I'm playing.
No.
I'm playing.
He's from Houston too. I would say another reason I omitted him. I know he does do these, but I never feel like he puts out albums. He just puts out like a flood of singles, like one a week, and I never think to go back and listen to like the whole like collection of those. I kind of catch them like week by week, track by track, whether it's his Twisted Sundays or whatever. But yeah, I certainly appreciate him. I just, like I said, I think it escapes me because I don't think of him dropping albums. It's just like a constant stream of singles.
Well, so, I did order his vinyl, if that count for anything.
Yeah.
I think he dropped 2 albums this year. Dead in Hip Hop Review 1, and he dropped the one that he just did with all
the features. It's the
Big Crit.
Project. Yeah.
Big Crit, D Smoke, Black Thought, Voice of 5'9", and somebody else he did a song with.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
People aren't on Tobe, they need to check him out. Visually, he's awesome. His videos are great because he's got the lyrics at the bottom all the time. He does stuff with his wife and a female producer that's just great. So
yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in.
I enjoy his music a lot.
I want to thank my special guest, ReadyWriter, Sketch the J, aka Oz Merritt's Now, for joining me on the year end, the 6th anniversary episode, the 6-year anniversary episode of the GodChaserz podcast. Gentlemen, before you exit, is there anything profound you want to give to the people before we end?
So I'll say this quickly. I was watching Anthony O'Neill, I believe his name is. He's the guy who's associated with David Ramsey's Christian guy. And he said something that really struck me. He's from Jacksonville. So he said something that really struck me today. He said, take an hour out of your day before we hit, whether you listen to this next year or you listen to it pretty soon here, take some time to talk to the Lord. And instead of presenting him with a list of the stuff you want to achieve, how about you ask him what he wants you to achieve? See if he'll give you a word. See if he'll give you something to press forward to as we enter into this new year so you can really have a target at something that will be pleasing to God's heart for you to achieve this year in 2021. That's what I'll say.
Sketch.
Yeah, I guess just I'm not thankful for the pandemic, but I'm thankful for what it's taught me and what I've learned through it. And just this year as a whole, I think God has used a lot of the stress and tension of this year to reveal to us our idols and things that we put in front of him and cling to, whether it's our job security, whether it's politics, whether it's our health, anything like that. I think he can use this time to kind of refine his church, and I'm thankful for that, and I hope that I'm on the right side of it. It's made me look at and cling to him more closely, and I hope that's done the same for other people. So
amen. And I'll just say, out of everything, the greatest commandment. If you can cling on to the greatest commandment and love your neighbor and love the Lord that God with all your heart, mind, your soul, with everything, you'll make it. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Revelations call this stuff the beginning of sorrows. So if you don't know Jesus, this that time. This that time to get to know him. This that time to get real with him, because 2020 was crazy, but according to scripture, it's gonna get a tad bit wilder. Buckle up, kids. It gets worse. So praise God for you, brothers. I love you guys. Everybody tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Yo, you God chasing a gnaw.